U.S. political analyst Eric Ham, who is listening into the Premier's live press conference from Toronto. There, Eric, good to see you. Happy Monday. Your takeaway, what do you think?
A very truculent Doug Ford there, not holding back, doubling down, and making clear that he is actually ready to fight not only President Donald Trump, but also the Prime Minister and other premiers. And he is singularly focused on his province. And I think what we're going to see here, or what we are seeing here, is this good cop, bad cop routine has reached its limit. President Donald Trump has abruptly pulled out of trade negotiations. Prime Minister Carney said those negotiations were moving very closely and providing actual progress. And now we hear from the president on this trip in Asia that he has no plans to speak to the prime minister for a very long time. And so I think what we're seeing here now is both sides are dug in, and this no longer becomes a fight between Canada and the United States. This now becomes a fight between President Donald Trump and Doug Ford. And that is a place where I think Canada certainly does not want to be, because, of course, we know Donald Trump loves to have these types of fights. And given his disdain for Canada, I suspect he will continue to keep this up for quite some time.
Is it a temper tantrum that we're witnessing here by Trump?
I don't know if it's a temper tantrum that we're witnessing by Donald Trump. We do know that he has very thin skin. And of course, we know that these negotiations were always going to be fraught and very difficult for Canada to navigate. Donald Trump has abruptly pulled out of negotiations once before. And Doug Ford is correct that Donald Trump does change his mind very often. And it's hard to figure out where his center is. But nevertheless, I think now this becomes less about moving forward and trying to find a trade deal that benefits both sides. And now it's all about the back and forth and the war of words between Trump and Ford. And I think also this puts an enormous amount of pressure on Mark Carney, who is also in Asia this week, and we know is expected to begin and have talks with China's President Xi. And of course, that is a move to try to thaw relations between the two nations. And all of this comes as the United States and China are actually solidifying their trade deal. And of course, China will certainly be looking for ways to exploit this ongoing back and forth as those meetings between Carney and Xi heat up.
Yeah, we do have a comment that the president made when he was on Air Force One, and we played it a little earlier this hour, but I want to play it again, Eric, because the president near the end, and I just want to draw people's attention, he says, you know, I think we'll just stick to the deal we have right now. Let's play that clip, and I want to get your reaction.
Whether it's provincial or Canada itself, they all knew exactly what the end was. The Prime Minister knew, everybody knew. The Prime Minister knew what the end was before it went on.
Will you see him in APEC? Do you want to meet with him?
I don't want to meet with him. No, I'm not going to be meeting with him for a while. No. I'm very happy with the deal we have right now with Canada. We're going to let it ride.
Very happy with the deal we have right now with Canada. We're going to let it ride. What does that mean to you, Eric?
I think that means that the status quo will remain in place. Canada will remain the only G7 nation without a tangible trade deal with the United States at this time. And Donald Trump is going to continue to keep these debilitating tariffs in place that hurt both sides. And as he said there, and I think as he made clear, he is putting he's putting blame on Prime Minister Carney as much as Ford. And I think it is that level of disdain that is going to continue to fuel Donald Trump throughout these negotiations, if in fact they ever get back on track.
Eric Ham, our U.S. political analyst here at CTV, with his take on what's happening between Donald Trump and, of course, Doug Ford, Mark Carney, you name it. Thanks for this, Eric, as always.
Thank you.